An Indonesian marketing guru says businesses must take into account ASEAN's potential market of 500 million people. He says the future trend is regionalization, not globalization. In his latest book, Think ASEAN, Hermawan Kartajaya says focusing on globalization means answering questions like, are we ready to compete with the big nations like China, India, Japan, Europe, the US? Excuse me. And for those who are not ready with the changes and considering the country's weaknesses, Indonesian companies should focus more on the regional markets like ASEAN. The move is important as the ASEAN community will be established in 2015. And in order to succeed, Kartajaya says businesses must rely on themselves to be innovative. And to understand more on Indonesia's position within ASEAN, we have on the line the author of Think ASEAN, Pak Hermawan Kartajaya. Good morning, Pak Hermawan.
Pak Hermawan, morning.
Morning, Pak. So, okay, your book says that in the case of Indonesia, we probably don't stand a chance against the big powers of the country, of the world rather, China, India, Japan, the US, what have you. Will we fare better going up against our partners in ASEAN?
Yeah, so as you saw at the previous session, you saw that so many losers in this globalization era, not so many winners, especially in the developing countries like Indonesia, because so many people are not ready to face the globalization. So if you think about US, if you think about Europe, and if you think even about China and India, we are not ready to use marketing. We are not ready to use branding, actually. So we can only export commodities. But if you are thinking about ASEAN, Southeast Asia, now this is our neighbors, and we have 540 million population market. And Indonesia actually the anchor of Southeast Asia. 240 million population. We are still the biggest total GDP country in ASEAN. So for me, if you are the marketers in Indonesia, if you are players, if you are companies in Indonesia, especially if you are already number one, you are already local champion in Indonesia, this is the time, the right time to go to think about ASEAN. If you go to China, you go to India, yes, the market is big, but the competition is so tough. But if you see ASEAN, Southeast Asia, from 10 countries, the people are look alike, actually. Socially,
Pak Hermawan,
I mean,
I hate to be skeptical about this, but okay, in terms of tourism, Indonesia doesn't spend as much as Thailand, doesn't spend as much as Malaysia. In terms of industry, a lot of companies are moving from Indonesia to Vietnam, where production costs would be cheaper, labor would be cheaper, the permits would be a lot less bureaucratic. So what can we offer exactly? I mean, what are our strengths?
That's why we must use marketing. If you use marketing, price is not the only competitive advantage. If you only think about cost, so you will not think about brand. So in marketing, the competitive advantage is not only cost, but how we create differentiation, how we create uniqueness, and so many uniqueness in Indonesia that we can market, so many differentiation in Indonesia that you can use to penetrate Southeast Asia. Now, as you see, so many brands coming from Singapore, right? Bread Talk and the other brands also coming to Indonesia, Secret Recipe, even from Malaysia. They are not so cheap, right? They are not so efficient also. And the labors are so costly also, more costly at least compared to Indonesia. But they can come here. They are not cheap, but they can come here. Means that you must use marketing. So in my book, Think ASEAN, I just want to redirect the mind of Indonesian players. Don't only think about commodity and then you export the commodity to US, to Europe, to China, because it is tough. You must compete based on price. But think about marketing. Think about how to create a brand, right? A brand like Jayco. I like Jayco very much because Johnny Andrian, my friend, is very successful in building a brand. I hope you like Jayco also. And we are very proud to have Jayco. They are ready to export to everywhere, I think.
Okay,
that is a clear example how we can use marketing and branding to grow ASEAN.
Pak Hermawan Kartajaya, thanks for that.
Thank you.
And moving on to the stock and currency markets really quick. Indonesian shares and the rupiahs ended on a mixed note Wednesday. The Jakarta Composite Index rose 0.56% or over 10 points to 1,800. The market analysts say that Asian investors are back to market after the Lunar New Year holidays and show an increase in liquidity. Meanwhile, the rupiah fell slightly by 8 points against the dollar to close at 9,068 rupiah. And more news after the break. Like I said, more news after the break.